Unity Coalition, Coalición Unida, está con el pueblo cubano.
El mundo está mirando. Everyone deserves freedom.
We pray for a free Cuba. Oramos por una Cuba libre.
El mundo está rezando por ustedes. The world is praying for you.
Fuerza y H para el espíritu Bambice. Está en los hombros de muchos héroes y ustedes son los héroes de esta generación. Luchen por su libertad. Hola a nuestros hermanos en Cuba. Los apoyamos y estamos con ustedes para libertad, para nuestros hermanos y hermanas. We want freedom for Cuba and we stand with our brothers and sisters in Miami. Freedom is a right for all. United with the Cuban people.
The world is with you. El mundo está con ustedes y van a lograr la libertad. This is the moment. Este es el momento de Cuba y Cuba va a estar libre.
No hay patria sin vida, ni vida sin libertad. La libertad que la dictadura castrista le quita al pueblo de Cuba todos los días. Abajo la dictadura. Libertad para Cuba. La ciudad de Miami Beach está con nuestros hermanos cubanos. Libertad para Cuba.
Para nuestros hermanos cubanos, porque merecen una mejor calidad de vida y que sean felices. ¡Viva Cuba!
Desde Colombia, nuestro corazón está con el pueblo cubano.
Our Miami LGBTQ community is with you.
La comunidad LGBTQ en Miami está con ustedes, enseñándole cualquier apoyo que necesiten en la isla. Es tiempo ya.
My Cubans in the island, I want to wish you all my support. Mis cubanos en la isla, yo quiero desear a ustedes todo mi respaldo.
Cuba, we stand with you in your fight for freedom and we will support you until the end. We're in this together.
Everyone deserves freedom. Todo el mundo merece la libertad.
Basta! Enough! Enough of oppression! Enough of hunger! Cuba must be free now! Hello, UCTV, and welcome to our Thursday edition. We're so happy to be here with all of you, all of our great, amazing viewers. On tonight's show, we are talking about, yes, our favorite thing, what's in the kitchen. I have two great, amazing guests who will be joining me tonight. But first, let me start off by thanking our sponsors, Gilead Healthcare, as well as our UCTV producers, and as well as our fellow anchors and cast. Thank you so much for your generous sponsorship and for making all of this possible. So, on tonight's show, we're going to talk to none other than LaMar McMullen and Anthony Winn, who are two very well-known gentlemen here in our South Florida community, and we're going to get right down to business talking about what's in the kitchen. I don't know about you, but I'm interested because I just got home from work and I'm a little hungry and I want to know, what are we cooking? So, first, I'm going to bring on none other than my brother from another mother, LaMar. How are you, sir? Welcome to UCTV once again.
Absolutely. Hello, 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 and good evening, everyone. My name is LaMar McMullen, and I am the Empowerment Coordinator at Empower You Community Health Center. Now, you talked about what's in the kitchen. I don't know, because I'm just getting home myself, and I'm ready to cook.
But when I say what's in the kitchen, honestly, being that we try to live a healthy lifestyle, we want to talk about nutrition and taking care of your body. When you do get in the kitchen, what are some things that you make sure you start off with that give you a good, healthy proportionate meal?
Well, definitely, I have to have my vegetables. My favorite vegetables between my partner and myself is corn. We love corn. Like we have to have corn every night. You know what I mean? Besides the starch, and then it's definitely everything else is healthy. We have backed away from fried foods and also red meat. So we're trying to live a healthier life. You know what I mean? Because I'm so accustomed. I don't know about you guys, but I'm a Bahamian. So I'm accustomed to all the grease. You know what I mean? So yeah, definitely like more fish, grilled or even baked items compared to fried and all of the other stuff.
So when you were growing up, what were some of the things that you look forward to eating the most?
Well, once again, being a Bahamian is definitely crab and rice. That's my thing, and I'm not talking about Americanized. I'm talking about Bahamian style, fresh. So you got that. You got conch rice, and I'm talking about conch straight out of the sea, pulled from the shell, and everything, all that good stuff. Definitely stew conch, stew fish. Yeah, like the basic traditional Bahamian meals. Like that was always my go-to. That was always my go-to.
Okay. So I heard you said you and your partner. Tell us a little bit about that. You know, what interested do you guys cook together?
Some things that we do cook together. You said, I'm sorry.
Yes. Do you guys share space in the kitchen? Do you prepare meals together? How does that go?
So we actually do share things in the kitchen. Like for instance, some things that he cannot cook, he'll go ahead and cook what he can before I get home, and then I take care of the rest for when I get home. And then we make sure that it comes together as a great healthy meal. Regardless if I'm here and he's not, or vice versa, or we're both sharing the kitchen together. Like you go ahead and do this and I do this. It's that 50-50 thing. You know what I mean? So yeah, definitely.
Awesome. Something of more of a little bit more serious question. Of course, I love the T-shirt that you have on. Of course, and bringing that to attention, it says, "I am ending the HIV epidemic because." Speaking about HIV, of course, you'd make it no secret that you are a living, thriving individual, undetectable, of course. But how does that coincide with eating healthy and taking care of your body?
So being mindful, for those that do not know a little bit about me, being in recovery, a recovering addict with 8 years clean, being positive for 9 years, you know, some things had to change because I was always used to actually eating the fried foods or anything to get me to my next fix. You know what I mean? But being in recovery and living this new way of life, for whatever the case may be, and also being positive, it's literally just saying, in order for me to live and continue to thrive, I have to change some things, and that was my eating habits. I have to work out, I have to eat properly, I have to make sure that I get the right amount of nutrition. I definitely drink water. I hate soda and Kool-Aid and all of that stuff, or juices. I don't like that. I'm literally drinking 9 bottles of water a day to keep me hydrated, to continue to motivate myself in spite of.
Okay. Very good, very good. Taking on another topic. So recently, in the last 3 weeks, they had the Rolling Loud concert, and there was a particular artist who I'm not gonna mention his name, but he made certain comments to the audience, derogatory comments in regarding his fans, that, you know, whatever was said. How do you feel? What do you have to say about those comments that were made?
So to honestly tell you the truth, when I heard of it, I wasn't aware of what was stated until maybe a couple of days or even a week afterwards. And when I heard, I was like, huh? like people still think that way. And because, you know, we are living in times right now where we educate to the best of our ability. You know what I mean? Like we partner with everybody. We stand in the gap for those that are positive, for those that are negative to stay negative. We stand in the gap for them to understand that, hey, Regardless if you're positive, there is life after diagnosis. And not only that, but if you are negative, like, you make sure you take care of what you need to take care of, and that's definitely being on PrEP. And if you're against PrEP, let's go ahead and have a conversation about it. Let's chat about it. Let's talk about it. You know what I mean? Because these are important things that we need to actually understand of where we're going now, because we're not back in the late 80s. Like, we're in 2021. We're no longer in the 80s. You know what I mean? So there has been progression. There has been progress. Now, one of my main goals is my shirt. I am ending the HIV epidemic because I am a stand for what it stands for. So
very well.
That's that goal, and to just the gap between the two. We have to bridge the gap between. In order for us to do some type of changing, we have to bridge that gap. You understand what I'm saying? Because the lack of knowledge, we perish. Because of lack of knowledge, we perish. And today, I refuse to not give people the knowledge of HIV care, of PrEP, and also PEP, and just make sure that you test it. That's the number one thing. Get tested and know your status. I preach on it but you know that, John. You know that. I preach on that all the time.
Very important. I think in this day and age, we have to continue to educate everybody, from our mothers, our brothers, our sisters, everyone that's a part of our community, and everyone that we come in contact with. So with that being said, I want to welcome our next guest of the two amazing gentlemen, Mr. Anthony Winn. How are you, sir?
John, what's up?
Welcome to UCTV.
Thank you. Thank you.
And for those of us who may not be as familiar with you and your South Florida reign, give us a little background about Mr. Anthony Winn.
I'm originally from Detroit, native Detroit, Michigan, Detroit. And I've only been living here for about maybe 6 years. And since, then a number of things have happened. I am the president and obviously owner of AWE, Anthony Winn Entertainment. We do every single Friday night at Club Escape here in downtown Fort Lauderdale. We were also obviously at the venue and the rooftop and a number of other events. I'm one of the event promoters down here in South Florida now. And as you also well know, the head of the Black Lives Matter rally that took place here in Wilton Manor last June, which you, sir, were a major part of, and I thank you and appreciate you for that. And also the head of the Black Excellence stage at Stonewall Pride, which we just completed about a month ago. It was our second time doing it. We initially did it back in 2019 and had a excellent representation there at Stonewall. A much needed representation at Stonewall.
I agree. It was refreshing it's always refreshing to not only be seen, but be heard, and have that reflection of us in the community, making a presence and showing the many different talented sides that we all carry.
Indeed. Most definitely.
So tonight's topic, we're talking about the kitchen and throwing down on what's your favorite meal and taking care of yourself healthy while still having something tasty. Tell me, what's your favorite meal to prepare?
Okay, so you know what? Prior to the pandemic, I really wasn't much of a cook. I didn't like, the kitchen was like the least used room in the house. You come in here, and I came in here to get more liquor or juices to mix with drinks than I did actually food. So it was just, maybe a cup of coffee or something like that. This is pre-pandemic. The quarantine really last year taught me something I didn't really do a whole lot of, and that was cooking. Because there was nowhere to go and there was nothing open except Publix. And so, cooking really kind of like jumped on me out of like nowhere. And one of the things that I discovered that A, I actually like cooking from time to time, and B is I love now to grill and particularly make seafood. So I'm
Okay.
really big on seafood. Like tonight, for example, like I'm already got
Uh-oh.
salmon,
Oh, yeah.
lobster tail, my mixes. I'm all ready to go, and of course a glass of wine. So
Of course.
yeah, so this is the thing that's really kind of like got me over the course of the past year has been really lots of catfish, salmon, shrimp, lobster, crabs, crab cakes, anything seafood related.
Nice. Yes, I definitely relate. I love a good crab cake any day.
That's right.
At least I
Let's
know I'm
go.
not the only one who cooks with a glass of wine or maybe a couple, because that's one of my favorite things to do. Anytime I
Oh,
get in the kitchen, I'm like, I always grab the bottle and I'm like, let me pour a little glass here for me while I go ahead and prepare this food and cook. It's to me, it's actually very calming. It's
it
very
is.
relaxing,
Yeah,
and I enjoy it.
yeah. Listen,
So
love it.
it's interesting because we have a plethora of taste here. We have the islands of the Bahamas, and then we have some good old Southern, well, Detroit style cooking. Out of the two different mixes, what would you say? What would the both of you say is the best dish that comes from each culture?
LaMar?
No, go ahead, Anthony. I'll let you go ahead and handle that.
I would have to say from Detroit, you know, so many people from Detroit, initially families hailed from the South. And so Southern
Mm-hmm.
cooking and cuisine up in Detroit has always been very extremely popular. There are lots of soul food restaurants. There are lots of places in Detroit, in the Detroit area, that cater to Southern cuisine. And again, so many families and generations initially, came from the South up to the North, and migrated to Detroit. And they brought all of that, tradition with them. And it's still there. And it's still there in a good way. So I would have to say that that's a particular thing that I find in Detroit that as many places I've traveled, it's it's very hard to find elsewhere.
Okay. Okay. And Mr. Lamar?
Um,
I think yours froze a little bit.
so that's earlier is of my favorite.
I think Lamar, you're cutting up just a little bit.
Got it. I'm
I can hear you, but it's going in and out.
speaking about like authentic cook the
I think we're gonna have to have him reconnect. But in the meantime, since I have you here, Anthony, I did ask Lamar as well what his thoughts were on the past incidents of Rolling Loud and a certain artist that had derogatory comments to make in regards to our gay, lesbian, transgender community, as well as those living and dealing with HIV. How do you feel about those comments, and what's your outlook on that situation?
You know, I think it goes to show two things: how far we've come and how far we've got to go. The reaction to how uncool it was what this artist stated and said, and the fact that the world responded the way that they did to him about what he said, certainly, and even reacted with many of the cancellations and so forth, certainly has shown how far that we've come. The fact that we are now in a space where that's not acceptable. We're in a space now where that's not cool. We are in a place where that sort of vitriol and hate has no place in our society. And the world at large has responded to that. It also shows at the same time how far we have to go, because the mere fact that he was comfortable enough still to even make that comment or to even say that, or felt that he was in an environment at that concert that by which he felt that the audience or the people in the audience would be so receptive of that, shows that how far we still have to go. Hopefully, this is a teachable moment for him. Hopefully, this is a teachable moment for any artist that feels the need to get up in front of tens of thousands of people and millions worldwide and make hateful comments and rhetoric such as that.
I definitely agree. I mean, at the end of the day, it was glad to see that people didn't just let it fly by, and a lot of people spoke up. Not only did he lost endorsements and money out of his pocket, but people throughout our community talked about this and let it be known that that type of ignorance just makes no sense. There's no real reason for you to get up and even think it would be okay to say something like that towards people when you have no idea what they go through, what they've been through, and what they're dealing with. We're all human beings. At the end of the day, we need to respect one another, and nobody knows what the next person is going through. So the least you can do when you have a platform and you have that type of movement and power, empower those and uplift people versus saying things that are going to make them feel a certain type of way or even just disrespectful.
Exactly.
But something I want to say, John, really quick, I do apologize. It's speaking about power. What I do believe is when people get into power, they begin to forget. So we need to bring them back in. Like they need that fishing hook and to be reeled back in. You know what I mean? Because just because you have this type of power or these audience, that's when you need to actually be more educated in, because you don't know who your followers are.
Right. Exactly. And then on top of that, you have not only do you have a vast amount of followers, but what about the young generation and the kids who look up to you and are out here rapping and saying your songs word for word? And now you go and you say this type of material that implies like it's okay. No. That's in no sort of way is that okay. And I'm glad that it got shut down.
Absolutely.
But going back to when you got cut off, I know you were in the middle of saying what your best dish is. So reel us in and give us what you think.
You got you. So that means you guys didn't hear anything that I said, and that's totally fine. One dish that my grandmother used to actually cook all the time was crab and rice. And I'm not talking about like the fake crab. I'm talking about the real crab, like out of the water, cracked the back, cleaned, like all of that, eating the whole back, the body, and the legs. You know what I mean? Not only that, but boiled fish and grits. And for those that do not know, the best part of boiled fish and grits is the actual fish head and the eyeballs. When I tell you, like cooked the right way, it is everything. And those are some of my favorite dishes. And definitely conch. Like anything with conch in it, I'm there, baby. I need me some. So those are definitely some of my favorite dishes. Bahamian. Yeah.
Okay. And Anthony, so do you normally cook in the kitchen by yourself, or do you share your space with maybe your significant other or your friends? What does that look like?
All the above. I'm usually cooking by myself. You know, my schedule sometimes can be a little all over the place, and so and sometimes I cook. I love to cook for people. I've had certainly my friends over here, and
Yes.
most of the time I get in here by myself, and for a significant particular person, I love when they cook for me.
Of course. All right.
Yeah.
So, and an update as well. We do have coming soon, coming very soon. Both of these gentlemen are a part of our Kiowa archives. They took their time out to document their natural, authentic selves, talking about your life, your experiences, and inspiring other Black men, same gender loving men of color, to just be inspired, be motivated, know that you're seen, know that you're heard. And the video is actually almost finished. I'm super excited. We have Celebrate Orgullo coming up this October 1st to the 15th, and particularly we have our night, which is going to be October the 6th, which is a Wednesday. We're doing an amazing, amazing, amazing piece with none other than our honoree for this year, Randolph Ward, who's going to be presenting a piece on William. Oh my God, what's his name? William Dorsey, who is none other than the first Black drag queen who introduced not only drag but ballroom. William Dorsey is a authentic Southern, born into slavery from his parents, and expressed himself all through history. So I'm super excited because at the same time, we're also going to be unveiling our project that you both worked on, as well as many other amazing men of color that are represented here in our South Florida community. So I want to thank you both, and I want to encourage everybody to log on to www.celebrateorgullo.com. You will find our calendar for this year as we are celebrating the art of illusion, and in many forms from many different walks of life, including our indigenous as well as our LGBT community. So we're super excited to launch that October 1st to the 15th. It's going to be phenomenal. There's an amazing schedule of events planned, and get your tickets, log on, check out our different events that we have going on, and stay tuned because we will be coming with more details. On top of that, I want to congratulate Mr. Anthony Winn. You are the honoree at the Red Gala coming up this December 4th. So tell us, what is that?
The Rafa Center, a nonprofit agency here in Miami. Justin Jones is the president, is honoring me every year. I think for the past couple of years, they've held this gala here in South Florida, and it is to honor and recognize individuals in the community. So I appreciate, I'm extremely honored. I was very surprised and of course, very, very humbled by this. And I'm looking forward to it. And they do and have done great work, and they do great work in the community. They're currently doing a project to raise school supplies for kids going back to school, which starts next week. So they themselves have been very, very instrumental in the Black community and the Black gay community in particular. And so by that alone, I'm honored that they chose to recognize me. I'm very humbled by it.
Awesome.
Congratulations, man.
Well, congratulations.
Thank
And
you.
we look forward to celebrating you. For both of you, tell our audience where can we find out more information, particularly about LJ, what you have going on within our community, as well as Anthony. Where can we follow you? Where can we stay abreast of what you guys have going on?
So for me, you can follow me on Facebook at LJ McMullen, or you can follow me on Instagram at King_McMullen, and that's MCMULLEN. And just a little minor plug, Empower You is up to some amazing things as always. John, you already know. Anthony, I know you've heard of us. Like you know of us, you know we always up to some things. Tomorrow, bring your kids. We have a book bag giveaway. We have over 700 book bags that'll be given away. We're also doing haircuts. We're also doing hairstyles for the little girls and giving away some things. We got Joshua's. It's going to be from noon until 4, I believe, or until supplies last. We also have National Gay Men's HIV and AIDS Awareness Day coming up September the 27th. And in honor of that, we will be celebrating at Spares Bowling Alley on September the 24th. So you do not want to miss that. It's going to be from 6 to 9. I will have an Eventbrite registration put up. So John, I'll send it to you. Anthony, I'll send it to you as well. Make sure you guys have your face in the place. It's the first 50. Everything free. I got y'all. Make sure you show up.
Thank you.
All right. And Anthony, how can we follow you?
I'm on Facebook at Anthony Winn, and I can also be found on Instagram at ASWINN.AW. As you all know or may not know, of course, you can join me every single Friday night at Club Escape. On tomorrow, we are celebrating the birthday of kind of a LGBTQ plus iconic figure. Jensen Atwood is here in South Florida, and he's going to be celebrating his birthday with us and everybody here in Southern Florida at Club Escape on tomorrow night. He's looking forward to it. It's something that he's wanted to do. And we celebrated with him a few years ago. He's now currently booked, and he's looking forward to it. It's going to be a great, great party tomorrow. And he wants to meet everyone, you know.
Yes.
And, so it's going to be a good time.
Everybody is ready to see Wade. You know?
Yeah. And he hasn't changed. He looks exactly the same.
I know.
Yes.
He's so he's super cool, super down to earth. Like he's really an amazing guy. I was there a few years ago when you guys had the party out on the spot on the beach.
Yep.
Yeah. It was a great time, always a great vibe, and always a safe environment. So thank you. I want to thank both of you for joining me tonight on our UCTV broadcast. And you can find us every Thursday, 7 p.m. Eastern, as well as join, like, subscribe. We have our Facebook page at Unity Coalition, as well as our YouTube. You can find us both on both of those. And for more information, you can always log on to www.unitycoalition.org. Thank you both once again for joining me tonight. And we will see everyone next Thursday at 7 p.m. here on UCTV. Have a great night.
Have a great one.
Sé lo que quieras hacer, ve a donde quieras ir, di lo que quieras decir, que yo también lo haré. Vive cada momento, cada instante con sentimiento, libérate de una vez y con tus alas voy a volar por el viento. Es mi vida, no es tu vida, y mi vida la vivo como quiero yo. Es mi vida, no es tu vida, y mi vida la vivo como quiero yo. No me importa lo que hablen, así soy yo y así seguiré, con mis defectos y virtudes. Por mi camino ven y sígueme. La vida es para divertirse, vívela y no la desperdicies. Pon alegría a tu corazón y sentirás lo mismo que siento yo. No, no. Es mi vida, no es tu vida, y mi vida la vivo como quiero yo. Es mi vida, no es tu vida, y mi vida la vivo como quiero yo. Muestra todo tu valor, tiene la llave de tu corazón. Vive segundo a segundo para que te sientas mejor. Vive la vida como tú dices.